Hello, everyone, and welcome to our summer session of English 101. This is a completely online class, which means that everything that we're going to be doing in this class is going to be done through Blackboard. Now, Blackboard can be a little bit tricky to navigate because each instructor generally sets up their class differently. So the purpose of this video is to take you through our Blackboard course so that you can see and know where everything in our class lives. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you so that I can show you how to navigate our class. So this is our class. When you first log in, the very first thing that you're going to see is our announcements. Hey, this is a very important page. If I think something is important, I'm going to post it here. In fact, I'm going to post a weekly announcement every week going over our schedule for that week. And I'm going to talk about what assignments and readings are due and what my expectations are, things like that. So you can always expect a new announcement to show up every Monday. However, I'll probably send other announcements out throughout the week as well. Okay, if you see an announcement, please read it. I'm making an announcement because I feel like I am sharing important information. Okay, so please check this page periodically. I would say every time you log into Blackboard, check to see if there's a new announcement. Okay, one thing to know is that I will also send these announcements out over email. So either way, make sure you are reading them. Okay, next up we have our syllabus and schedule. This houses exactly what it says, which is the syllabus and schedule. Okay, so here is our syllabus. This is going to be a required reading for this week. In fact, you're going to have to take a quiz on it. So please download this, read it, get familiar with it, right? It's a contract between you and I, so it's really important that you know what the course expectations and policies are. If you have any questions about this syllabus, please reach out to me. Okay, I also have the Unit 1 schedule here. I also highly recommend downloading this and printing it off. What you can do is use this as a checklist. What it has is it breaks down all of the different readings and assignments that we have for Unit 1, which covers about 2 weeks of our class. You will have other schedules available to you. We're going to have 3 units total. Those schedules are going to be housed somewhere else, and I will show you where to find those as well. Okay, so again, highly recommend downloading this and printing it off so that you can see weeks at a glance. Okay, next up, we have faculty information. This is all information about me and how to contact me, right? So here you have a quick link to send me an email. This is a great way to send me an email because it's actually linked to your CWI account, which means that I know that this email is coming from you, right? So if you're going to send me an email, consider using this link. Okay, next up, we have some profile information. You can read through that if you'd like. And then down here, we have the link to my office hours, right? My office hours are held every Monday and Wednesday from 2 to 3 p.m. via Blackboard Collaborate. All you have to do is come in here, click on this link during my office hour times, and you should be able to meet with me via Blackboard Collaborate, right? There's also directions and videos here to show you how to do that if you need extra help with that, okay? Please feel free to stop by during my office hours and come and chat with me. I'd love to see and talk to you all. Okay, next up we have the tutoring and learning support, right? This is a writing class. You're gonna be doing lots of writing. And really, you should try to use your writing support tools that are offered to you, right? CWI has a lot of great resources, and one of those is Writing Tutors. Okay. I recommend to all of my students to have their essays looked at by each of their essays looked at by a writing tutor, right? It's a fresh pair of eyes. You're going to get more feedback. The more feedback you get, the better writing that you're going to produce. So I always recommend to my students that they use this resource before they turn in their finished draft. And through CWI, you have 2 different options for writing tutors. One, you can use the Writing Center. Through the Writing Center, you can do an email service. You'll have to check in with them to see if they're still offering that, or you can book a writing appointment with a writing tutor. Their schedule is kind of limited, so I recommend if you do want to use the Writing Center through CWI that you schedule early on. okay, to ensure that you're getting a spot. The next option you have is the 24/7 online tutoring platform, which is they use tutor.com. There's a couple different options that you can use here. You can submit your work and they'll return it to you within 12 hours with some feedback, or you can meet immediately one-on-one with a tutor to discuss your writing. So I always recommend this service for someone who's kind of short on time and really wants to get their work looked at. If you do choose to use a tutor, which I hope you do, just make sure that you are providing them with all the resources that they need to give you the best feedback possible. So what I recommend doing here is kind of going through these frequently asked questions and gathering all the information that you need to have the most efficient tutoring session possible. Okay, next up, we have the weekly folders tab. This is where you're going to spend probably the most amount of time because this is where all of your reading and assignments are housed. Okay, so what you're going to see when you log in here is you're going to see the most updated week at the top. So since we're in week 1, you're going to see the week 1 folder, right? As we get into week 2 will be at the top. Okay, and what you see when you first look at this is there's just a quick little breakdown of what all of the readings and assignments are. So again, you'll see that our weeks are broken down into 3 separate due dates, right? 3 separate due dates. I know that's not fun, but we kind of have to do that because we're doing 16 weeks worth of work condensed down into 8 weeks. So we're going to have to get through 15 hours of work each week. So I broke it down into 3 separate due dates so that you can kind of have a manageable chunk of time, right? Consider about 5 hours of work per due date. So our due dates are every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday at 11:59 p.m. And so this is what you can expect to complete on each of those days. Once we get into the week, you'll again see that little breakdown at the top, and then you will see each of those readings and assignments. So I have these little tabs here so that you can see that anything that's below this line is due on Tuesday, right? So you're going to see all of those readings and assignments for that week. And then you're going to see the next due day, right? So everything below this line is due Thursday. And then again, you're going to see Sunday, and everything below there is due on Sunday, right? So that should help you follow along with all of the assignments that are due. Please follow these in order. They're set up so that they build on top of each other. You are more than welcome to work ahead on assignments that allow you to. Some assignments won't because they will require feedback first. But if you want to work ahead, I have no problem doing that. Okay. Next up, you have a discussion board link. This is just a quick link to get to the discussion board. We don't have very many of them, but you will also have these links within the weekly folders. So feel free to go through the discussion assignments through those weekly folders instead. Actually, I recommend it because only the weekly folders have the assignment directions. You won't be able to see what the actual assignment is through these links. So please use the weekly folders if you can. This is more so just to revisit the discussion boards. Okay, next up in this section, this all has to do with resources. Okay, so all of these tabs here are just extra information for you. Okay, so first up, we have essay information. This has a link to a document that is formatted in MLA format, right? That's a format that is required for this class. So if you're not really familiar with MLA or you don't want to go through the extra hassle of formatting it in MLA, all you have to do is download this document and it's formatted in MLA for you already. Okay, so that's a quick way to get your paper formatted in MLA. Okay, next up, these house all of the important documents for each unit. So when you click on this, so I'll click on unit 1 since this is our first unit, you'll see all of the important documents for this. It's very important that you read through each of these because you're going to have a really difficult time writing this essay if you have not read these documents. Okay, so what you can find in here is our schedule, which you've seen before, right? We have the major essay 1 assignment sheet, right? This goes over the guidelines and expectations for the assignment. This is, a very important document. You need to read this to understand what you're being asked to write about. I always provide an outline for your papers, so you can use that to help organize your ideas. The rubric, this is how I will be grading your essay. Okay, and the same goes with your reflection essay. With each major assignment, which each major essay that we write, you're also going to have a reflection essay that goes with it, goes after it. You can also see the assignment sheet for that as well as the rubric for that. Okay, I also provide example essays that have been written by previous students so that you can see what a finished draft would look like. Okay, so my recommendation is to, again, print off these documents so that you can have them on hand so that you know exactly what this assignment is and how it's being graded, and you have all the tools that you need to be successful for this assignment. Okay, so again, if we kind of go back into that essay info, you'll see units 2 and unit 3. You can preview those as well so you can kind of get a feel for what the rest of this summer is going to look like. Okay, next up we have reading and writing tips. These are just extra resources on how to do different things related to reading and writing, right? So if you're having trouble reading critically, you might want to go here, go to this handout and get some extra tips on how to do that. If you're having trouble with your thesis statements, you can use this handout to go through some exercises to get you a solid thesis, right? All of these are provided by the Writing Center, so you could even pull up some of these resources and go schedule an appointment with a writing tutor to take you through some of these to help get you some extra practice, right? But these are all extra resources that you can use, especially if you feel like you're struggling in any of these areas. Okay, next up we have MLA info. As I mentioned, this class is you're going to be required to use MLA format. So this just goes over different MLA formatting guidelines, techniques, things like that. So again, if you're struggling with MLA format, here are the resources to help you with that. Okay, next up we have grammar lessons. Okay, each of these folders houses a different grammar lesson and quiz to help you get extra practice with grammar. These are totally optional. Students usually like to do this if they're struggling with a certain grammar error. For example, a lot of people struggle with proper comma usage. So they might go through and do the exercises that are related to commas, right? Or maybe you're having trouble with commonly misused words. So you might want to go through that lesson and take the quiz on it to get some extra practice with it, right? So again, it's just a resource. These are not required assignments. They're just there to help you get some more information and get some extra practice. Okay, so again, all of these house different resources that you can use. Okay, then down here, you have My Grades. This is another important tab that I'd like you to pay attention to. When you click on My Grades, you'll be able to see all of the assignments, the due dates, and your scores and or feedback that you are getting from me as the instructor, right? The thing that I really want you to pay attention to here is the feedback that I am giving you, right? When I give you feedback, you will see a little blue bubble pop up here. If you see a blue bubble, click on it and read it because I'm trying to tell you something. Okay, so we're actually going to have an assignment this week that goes over how to read feedback. So here is where you will do that. One thing that I do want to know about My Grades is that a lot of students use this as like their access to all of the assignments, because not in mine, but in yours, you can click on the assignments here and it'll take you to the assignment. Please do not use this as your assignment links. As a reminder, the weekly folders house all of the readings and assignments. This does not give you the readings. A lot of these assignments require you to do a reading first. So please use the weekly folders to take you through all of the assignments. Otherwise, you're going to be missing out on some really important information that you're going to need in order to complete the assignments, right? So really only use this to see what your grades and feedback are. Okay, and then down here you have a course evaluation button. That's not really going to be relevant to you until probably the last week of class. So, feel free to disregard that for now. Okay, so that is the rundown of our class. Okay, if you have any questions about the class or where to find things or what the assignments are or anything like that, please let me know. I am here to help you.